The Art Beat, a weekly program putting you in touch with artists and arts events from the J.T. and Margaret Talkington College of Visual and Performing Arts at Texas Tech University. Hello and welcome to the Art Beat on KLZK FM 105.7. I'm your host, Peter Martens, wishing you a happy Independence Day weekend here. And I'm happy to be talking today with another important support person who gets around a bit, I will say, in the service of the entire College of Visual and Performing Arts at Texas Tech, Shannon Magri. Hello, Shannon.
Hi there.
Rather than some of the other folks we've talked to who are positioned in the School of Art or in the School of Music or in the School of Theater Dance, Shannon, you're in the college itself, right? The college part of the college office.
Right. My office is in the Dean Suite, and I am the lead administrative recruiter for the College of Visual and Performing Arts here.
All right. Great. Thank you for filling in your title there because that's challenging. So we're having this nice relaxing weekend. Hopefully it's relaxing, and hopefully the weather is such that, fireworks actually happen. It seems like every time I'm in town for the 4th of July, there's some massive weather event that cancels the fireworks. But
same.
Yeah, knock on wood here. But something else happening this weekend that we were speaking about a little bit ago is that already students can start applying for college for the fall of 2027, which is shocking to me, but here we are.
Right. Students who are finishing up their junior year can start applying through Apply Texas. That opens up July 1st. They can also apply through the Common App, which opens up August 1st.
Okay.
So they can start their academic applications then. They do not have to wait for the decision from Texas Tech to start their audition applications if that's required with what they're studying.
Through the specific school of
yeah,
theater,
depending
school
on what their focus area is. Yes.
Okay. Yes. So the Apply Texas is already open, and the Common App opens soon. And I will say from my own personal experience, having 3 kids gone through this process, starting those essays early, boy, you can't go wrong getting some of those knocked out during the summer.
That's true. And we often advise them to do a lot of that stuff in the summer before their senior year. There's so much to do that senior year. It's a good time to tour schools, look at different programs, talk to faculty members, talk to other students, write those essays, do some research on the school you're looking at. What do you like about their programming? Why did you choose that school? Why did you choose Texas Tech, et cetera?
So one of your primary role, I guess I could say, is recruiting for overall all of the programs in the College of Visual and Performing Arts here at Tech. Are you then interfacing with students generally during their junior year, or is it even earlier than that in a lot of cases?
Man, when we're on the road, we encounter students of all ages, especially at some of the resource fair events. Families will come together, and it's a great time for younger students to get a little exposure, start thinking about college. So I've talked to a 5th grader, I think I've talked to younger students. A 5th grader really stands out who was really serious about theater and dance already.
Wow.
And had his mind set on tech. So we're just going to keep a good email volley going back and forth and answering questions. But yes, all the way up to seniors. I'd say mostly we encounter juniors. A lot of the work that we're doing, we're talking to juniors and connecting them to our different programs, getting them to think about those things, that last year of high school.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. And so you're connecting with these students where? You kind of mentioned on the road.
Yes.
Your job involves not a little travel, I think.
It's about 50% travel, I'd say. This is our kind of slow season. We do have some signing ceremonies going on this summer, but yes, we travel all across the state, meeting students where they are at resource fairs, schools, colleges, 2-year colleges all over the state, trying to just get to know them, find out what they're curious about, and match them to our different programs.
We have, not a small number of faculty in even a relatively small college like the TCVPA at Tech and a large number of programs. How do you keep all of the information needed to kind of represent those programs and speak to all of those programs and faculty and such in your head at one time while you're talking to these students?
Well, I'm still pretty new. I've been here about a year, so I am still learning. Things like this help me learn.
Okay.
Listening to Art Beat has helped me learn.
Oh, good.
And keeping information, keeping those communications going on with students, keeping them all together, just learning about the different programs and doing our AIS visits has really been helpful in, getting my face into the material, into our programs, talking to faculty, talking to staff, going to different events, going to performances, going to our music recitals, going to the dance performances, going to art exhibits from the School of Art. All of that really helps me learn a little bit more about what's going on, talking to our advisors, learning about the different classes and curriculum. There's so much that we do and so much that our faculty does, and I hope to do more of that in the fall. Last year, I didn't really get a lot of time to meet everybody before it was time to hit the road, and I was dealing with a bum foot. I just had surgery too. So I'm hoping this year to make more connections with faculty and students so I can learn more. Our student ambassadors are also very helpful too. I learn a lot whenever I'm in the room with them. So they sometimes attend our resource fairs with us, and listening to them talk about the programs when they're talking to a prospective student gives me a wealth of information.
Yeah, I'm sure current students are the best recruiters of the
They
next,
are. They
the
really
next set
are.
of students.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think parents really appreciate that too when we can connect them with a student who's in the actual program that their son or daughter is interested in.
Sure. On that same note, I know it's been a point of pride for several of our programs and all of our schools, I would say, that we're a large state institution, but if you come here as an undergraduate to study something in the arts, you take your pick, that you will be engaged with an actual faculty member more often than not,
Right.
the vast majority of the time, rather than some other schools I won't name.
We don't have to.
where your interfacing is going to be very occasional and much more common with graduate students, that sort of
Right.
thing. Now we have graduate students, and they're a really important part of our ecosystem, and they do a lot of teaching for us as well. But no one comes to major in, again, pick your arts area,
Sure.
without interfacing with that one or more faculty members. And I've heard it said often that undergrads choose their institution based on a program or a school or maybe a location. And in grad school, then you choose your school based on an individual. Again, in my experience, and I think a lot of people have thought this way, that at the undergrad level in the arts, it's actually more like graduate school in that, I'm a violinist. I want to go to University X because of the violin professor, which I think is different than I want to go somewhere and study chemistry because of a chemistry professor. That doesn't happen as much. So when you're out there engaged at these fairs, it seems like there's a harder or a larger burden on you folks because you're trying to represent these individual people that are the ones that are maybe attracting these students to
Right.
Texas Tech, rather than just a generic come study music.
Sure.
Or am I wrong? Is there a general
Well, it
recruiting
does help
strategy?
to know some specifics and to understand, something about the courses that they might be taking and to be able to connect them with a faculty member. We like to say that we give everybody the VIP experience here.
Nice.
And we hear that from families when they come here and they've visited other schools. They're telling us how much we've given them some really customized attention. Even before they arrive, we're emailing saying, hey, we hear that you're coming for a visit. We're excited. Tell us a little bit more about your interests so that we can customize your visit when you come. So we really want to maximize that opportunity when they come. So if it's possible and a faculty member is available, we will connect them with faculty and give them a tour, show them everything that we've got, all of our top tier, state-of-the-art equipment, facilities, everything.
Sure. Okay.
And really that helps us do our jobs very well. If we can get them here and show them our amazing facilities and maybe connect them with a faculty member, that usually does it. That usually, seals the deal. But we have parents telling us, wow, this other school didn't do that. They just kind of gave us a map, let's go. Or, there's no, connecting us with faculty members or anything like that. So we've been told time and again that our experience when we have lead an academic session or a tour has been really, really powerful experience. And I've been told sometimes that, hey, when we came today, y'all were number 5 on the list. And today y'all have moved to number 1.
Oh, wow. That's great.
I've had students tell us, we've been to other schools that are reputable art schools, and this is incredible, So people get really excited when they visit. So we know that the key is just to get them here, and we want everybody to come.
Right. Yes, I've heard that before. That getting people to campus getting prospective students to campus is a real key with
Definitely.
their families if possible. And it's interesting. You say this customization you're able to do. Obviously, that requires a fair amount of adequate staffing, right? You need the person hours to make that sort of thing happen. But it feels like you also need the attitude, right? I would think people in people that you work with and people in your sorts of positions, you can probably have all of the resources in the world, but if you don't really believe in what you're selling, so to speak, it's not going to work. So tell us about the culture. You mentioned the advisors who you work with in the individual schools and the college and then the rest of the college staff. is that something that kind of drew you to the position in the first place, or that maybe makes you want to stay? I'm saying hopefully that you'll want to stay in the position.
I think the culture here is something that definitely makes me want to stay, especially within our college. I mean, I haven't had much experience in other colleges because I left public ed to come here, but and it was a good pivot. But yes, I mean, our student support team is just so supportive of me, and everybody's, answering my hundreds of questions all the time. Everybody has a very positive attitude, very professional, communication's great. I have enough time to do my job, which is,
it's always nice.
Coming out of public ed, it's kind of nice to actually be given the time to do your job. And I'm constantly thanking Aaron for things like that. But no, I feel very fortunate to be here. I feel like it's a perfect combination of my love for the arts and my background in education. I get to meet with students and families still. I still get to teach about our incredible programs every day and match them to those kinds of opportunities. So there's a lot of things that I'm still doing that I was doing in public ed. I just kind of spun it into this amazing opportunity. So I'm planning on staying here till retirement if you'll have me.
Well, that sounds great. It sounds like you're doing wonderful work for us.
Well, thank you.
And you said kind of at this time in the summer, you pivot a little bit more, or that's the down season, so to speak, for recruiting. But I think we have a lot of other things going on campus that you are involved with, right? And kick into high gear. And we've heard from some people over the past several weeks, actually, about the summer camps going on there. Maybe you can give us a rundown of your engagement there, or what's actually happening now that we're where we are at the beginning of July.
Well, our faculty and departments have been doing a great job doing outreach, getting our students to camps, all these different prospective students from middle school up to high school age. We've got our Raider Create Camp where they're doing a lot of visual art, and that consists of jewelry, sculpture, character painting, homemade bookmaking, and they're getting the full campus experience. They get to live in the dorms, eat in the dining halls, and go to the rec center pool, the lazy river, all the good things. So that's a super fun experience. And then we have our Wild Wind Dance Intensive. This is actually the first time we're doing this, I was told. So that's really exciting. She's got about 40 campers over there. And I think that they're experiencing a lot of different technique in ballet and contemporary, hip hop, jazz. And they're also doing some wellness. So I think she's doing some yoga and Pilates rolled in there too. So some improv, some choreography, a little bit of everything. And that's a day camp. Students can sometimes audition at these camps as well.
Okay, so if I come here for dance camp as a high schooler or whatever, I'm here, I'm a senior or whatever, I can just knock that out right away while I'm on campus.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
It's a great opportunity. We also have our All-State Choir Camp. That's 5 days preparing for TMEA and All-State Choir auditions. And then we have our Texas Tech Band and Orchestra Camp, which is open to middle school and high school students to get them ready for marching band and performance season. And we also have our UIL Theater and Technical Camp, where they'll experience classes of design, makeup, costuming, lighting for each show. And they also get to audition, rehearse, and perform a one-act play in our Machen Theater. So we're really excited about that. And everything ends in an exhibition or a performance.
Right. That is open to the public, parents and everybody can come. Right. So do you and your team do any explicit recruiting of these students, or is this more kind of you identify names to follow up with afterwards or in subsequent years?
A little bit of both. I think when we're out on the road, we are taking information about camps and we're sharing that with students. If they email us, we specifically give them information and links to register. And we just did a big push in our office to get more campers to summer camp. And so
it sounds like it's the down season for recruiting, quote unquote, the college students, but you're plenty busy recruiting for and recruiting from, I guess, these summer camp populations as well. So that's obviously an important pipeline. As you said, get students to campus. They're aware of the faculty and aware of the programs, and all of that feeds into probably a little easier job for you and your colleagues down the road.
We hope so.
Recruiting them for actual degree programs.
It's just ongoing. We're just constantly plugging away. We also have our signing ceremonies this summer. We have 3 signing ceremonies happening. So we have one here in Lubbock, one in DFW area, and we also have a new ceremony in Houston. So we're inviting the students in the Houston area to come and sign their commitment to Texas Tech. So we're real excited to make that very special for them.
So our listeners might be thinking, signing ceremony, what? I know that this happens in the college football draft or that sort of thing, but this is something that a lot of programs are now doing at the undergrad level to welcome and celebrate and hopefully make the commitment even firmer than it otherwise might be.
Yeah, we think it just makes it a little more special to honor them and to celebrate with their families. and get to meet the dean and other students and make connections before they even get to come.
Right. Well, on that note, our time has flown. Thank you so much to our guest today, Shannon Magri from the College of Visual and Performing Arts recruiting and all other things sort of staff. Thank you for your role in making our programs robust and full of students and in finding those probably sometimes diamonds in the rough that maybe don't even know what they're looking for and
That's
helping
my
them
dream. Yes.
focus. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
You bet. Good to talk to you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
The Art Beat, a weekly program putting you in touch with artists and arts events from the J.T. and Margaret Talkington College of Visual and Performing Arts at Texas Tech University.